Unfortunately for University, it was a file-it-and-forget-it kind of night in the Cleveland Cup final as St. Ignatius recorded a 5-0 victory in the Cleveland Cup final there at Iceland, USA in Strongsville. Just a forgettable evening of work for the Preppers here. They couldn't get anything going in any zone at all. They couldn't get pucks to the net. They're struggling in the defensive zone. They're struggling with being physical at times on Ignatius, and when you have that going against you and you're playing an opponent the caliber of Iggy, it's going to be a long, long night, and it was here. In the opening period, they just were getting pucks to the net with regularity, and U.S. struggled to really get the puck out of their defensive zone. And the big thing I love, one of the many things I love about watching St. Ignatius play is how good their forecheck is. They should put out DVDs on how good they are on the forecheck. They always have been. They have those two sweepers up front at forward who can basically go up there, and with their speed and their ability to move around, they can really deny the breakout just exceptionally well, and they did that here, and they were able to get a turnover that leads to a goal, make it a 1-0 hockey game. They get the second goal to make it 2-0, and with the regularity that they had of spending time in their offensive zone, it just made it really difficult for U.S. to set any kind of tone whatsoever. And on a night like this, when they're keeping the puck in the zone and U.S. is having a tough time being physical, let's be clear, you cannot put this entirely on the goaltending. There's just nights where you got to make it a little easier for the guys between the pipes, regardless of who it is. And with a caliber of opponent like St. Ignatius, you can't make it, I don't want to say easier for them, but you got to make it a little bit more difficult for them physically. And U.S. was having a tough time doing that whatsoever. And you combine Ignatius's ability to forecheck beautifully, and if there's a team that has two-line passing better in this state, I'd be honored to see it. They move the puck so well, and there's just so much to like about the Wildcats, and they were crisp, and University was not. And they have a lot to work on going into the Kent District. They're going to go in there as the top seed, as the favorite, given their head-to-head results against the competition in that district, and they should be. When they're at the top of their game, they're very good, and they weren't tonight. It is what it is. I think that this is one of those games where you basically just have to take a good hard look in the mirror, be determined to ensure that it doesn't happen again, and move on and really come out with some fire there at the Kent District. Not that they haven't been playing with fire for a good stretch of the season, but I think they need to really get that fire back after a night like this where it was just really, really difficult. But U.S. had some positives. Evan Kruger getting Great Lakes Hockey League Player of the Year was a positive. The one breakaway save by Jackson Polish late in the second period on Ethan Whitney was very good, but pretty much that was it as far as positives. I hate to say it, you guys know me after all these years. I wish there were more positives from a U.S. point of view for the News-Herald coverage area standard bearer here in the sport, but there just wasn't. It was not a good night. It is what it is, and you have to move on, and St. Ignatius definitely deserved a 5-0 win over the Preppers on Sunday afternoon.